Hey, we're here to talk to you guys about the problem that everybody shares in this industry. I mean, everybody shares it in the world. We have a communication challenge. If you're in business and you want to communicate with your customer, whether it's B2B or B2C, it's a challenge, and it's extremely freaking complicated these days, right? You
There's so much noise.
Yeah, multiple platforms, what you do, and such. We have a unique offering. We're the video brochure people, video box people. You guys have seen us before. This is an example of one that Samsung did, which is kind of cool, right? So it's a communication tool. It definitely cuts through the noise. But we're going to tell you a story today about our experience, personal experience with video brochures over 10 years ago. And so it's a testimonial of sorts for ourselves, but for more so for the product. So it can be biased or whatever it is, but I think it's a cool story. So,
well, let me start by saying MediaFast has been in business for over 30 years. We haven't always sold video brochures because they didn't exist. And as we were, I bought the company over 10 years ago, and the founder was always interested in new, exciting products. And he brought a video brochure and said, I think this is the wave of the future. I think that this is what we should do. And this is in its infancy, people. This is over 10 years ago.
Yeah, and the thing with the company, it's always been intangible media.
Yeah.
So if you guys think back, 30 years, a lot's happened in 30 years. So if you think back to audio cassettes and VHS tapes.
Well, specifically video tangible media. MediaFast has always done video in some form.
Yeah, and
video cassettes, CD,
it's
DVDs,
evolved, right?
Blu-ray, all of that stuff. We've done it all.
In addition to that, we're known for doing a lot of packaging. And you guys probably don't know this because you're in a specific vertical, but we've done tons and tons of types of packaging with product packaging based. So back in 10 years ago or so, Bart Howell, which was the founder, brought to us a video brochure and said, hey, look, this technology exists. I think it's the coolest thing. He's a double communication major, by the way. So, hence communication. And so he's an amazing communicator, and he really believed that video brochures were going to be the next really popular and effective communication tool in a certain application. So it wasn't like, hey, it's for them, everybody gets one, but certainly it was, if we were rifled approach with the pieces, they would be great.
And at this time, they really had evolved from a video photo frame.
Yep.
So they weren't across the market. They took the video photo frame idea and we turned it into a marketing piece, really, is what happened.
When you looked at
a communication tool.
When you looked at a photo frame, we said, how cool would it be to take one of those things and wrap it,
and
put a battery in it, and then send it to somebody with a message, right? So where we went with that video brochure technology was, we were thinking about, we were always a shoe leather type company. So we were in the faces of the clients, meetings all over the country. And we never had something to leave behind that was significant. So we said, that would be kind of a cool piece to leave behind. But there's a cost with the piece. Can we justify the piece? I wonder how people will interact with the piece. So we made it a mandatory thing that everybody that went on one of these in-person meetings had one of these pieces, and then would hand them off to whomever they were speaking with at the end of the meeting, and then bring back, tell us what would happen.
So we went on a sales trip. We use CDs and DVDs as marketing tools quite a bit, and we'd also sell it as product to certain clients. Mm-hmm. We had some existing clients that were purchasing other products from us, video tangible media products. And we decided to bring this, and I.
Yeah, in this particular case, it was the guys making an electronic component, the automotive industry that, souped up your car or whatever it was, and a disc was going in with that product that people would load up, and they would explain to them how to program it and have all of the guides and all that sort of stuff, right? Well, when we got through with that,
discs were cool then.
Yeah, discs were super cool back then. And
we met with one guy.
Buyer,
we
right?
had a meeting with a buyer,
and
we walked into the conference room, and he met us. We were at their office, and we sat there and we had a good conversation. And
the guy was extremely dry. So I don't know about a good conversation, but it was very
productive.
It was a buyer's conversation.
Yeah.
It was like, here's the product, this is the price, and so be it. So at the end of this deal, we hand this guy a video brochure, like one of these. We just hand it to him. The guy looks at it awkwardly. We're not saying a word. We're like making like this awkward silence kind of situation. He fumbles with it, opens it up, it starts, and he's just beside himself. He's closing it, he's flipping, he's opening it again. He goes, wow, this is so cool. He goes, excuse me for a minute. And the guy leaves the room. And I'm
And
like,
we're sitting there
we're
like,
saying like, where's
where'd
this
he
guy
go?
going? You gotta go to the restroom, whatever. So the guy's gone, right? So the guy comes back and he's got his CMO, he's got his CEO, he's got the president, and he's got the chief financial officer.
all four of them.
All those guys come up in the room and now they're like, tell us about this product and this and the other. Well, at the time, we weren't necessarily in the market to sell this product as it was utilizing the product as a sales tool for us, for MediaFast.
But being honest, Bart really thought that we should
Bart-
be selling it, and it
Yeah,
just was
but
in the early
based on
phases.
the price points and it was in early infancy
Yeah.
and things like that, we were like, well, you know, if we can't, I
We
didn't,
sold a piece that was 30 cents,
right.
and
yeah.
now this piece is
Yeah,
$30.
$30, right?
It's
So
very
it was
different.
a huge gap, like mentally, right? And probably you guys are having some of the same thoughts because, you know, some of you guys are doing postcard marketing, right? Or it's something like that, or just straight up email marketing. When you're thinking about sending somebody a $30 piece, you're going like, how do I justify that?
Yeah.
Well, I'll get there. So we leave some of those meetings. We did this tour, like Idaho and
Yeah,
you know,
we
kind
did
of
a
Western
we
state
did a bunch
stuff,
of stuff.
and came back, and we were like,
No, but even when we got in the car and we drove away, I remember thinking, we got the four biggest decision makers in the
Exactly.
room at the same time, captive audience.
never would have met with us otherwise.
No, and so
Yeah.
we got in the car and went, oh my gosh, the power of this piece is
Yeah.
crazy, and we
Yeah.
were cracking up in the car, going, okay, this is,
Yeah.
and you know, and we call it a silver bullet, Harry Potter, magic. I mean, there's a lot of words for this piece, but
I call them door openers,
Yeah.
you know, or in
Door
to some
stops,
people, door
any of that
stoppers,
stuff.
you know, all kinds of things like that. And when we left there, we were like, we're going to bring this back. We're going to get supply chain organized, and we're going to market this because this solves the communication problem. And it doesn't solve it for everyone, but it solves it in a very unique and specific vertical.
well, especially
And-
with C-suite executives, the engagement with those particular people who are so hard to reach. Not only does it break through their walls of defense, if you will, spoken from a previous receptionist / executive
Yeah.
assistant, it would get through. It also, they share it with each other, which is the crazy part, just like we did. It shows up to the person you want it to, and if it gets to Mary, she's like, oh my gosh, Mark, you have to come over here and look at it. We've watched it. It's crazy.
That experience with those four executives coming in, one of the things that I realized, I was like, this gets vertical and horizontal exposure when somebody gets in this in office, because I think
Yes.
it's so cool. So your brand's being spread all over the place. And so that is extremely powerful because you don't get that in an email. You can't do it with an email. You're certainly not going to do it with a postcard. So we brought it back, started marketing it, convinced a few customers to use them. I mean, to the point that I basically told one of our customers, I will give you half the money back if it doesn't work. And of course they showed up here and I was like, oh, I'm on the phone, and I'm like, okay, oh, the guy's here for his money, right? And the guy comes in, he goes, no, get off the phone. I'm going to tell you what happened. And he came back and he's like, dude, they were a nonprofit actually. And it's called Empowered Playgrounds. And they do some cool stuff in Africa. They have these centrifugal playgrounds that generate power that charges batteries in these buildings to power schools, which is cool. So we helped them for years with DVDs.
Yeah, right.
But this was next level, and they went out and in the first 2 weeks they got all their money back, and more importantly,
Yeah.
they had super positive feedback from all of their donorship. So that just, I think from
He came back to tell you it worked. is
Yeah,
basically
and he
what
ordered
happened.
more.
And he wanted more.
Yeah, and so it skyrocketed. So if we leave you guys with something in this video newsletter, we all share the same common problem. We can't communicate on the same level with everyone. Certain people need a different type of messaging, and potentially that messaging put into a different product to get their attention. So that being the case, when you guys are considering justifying some of this stuff, I said to someone today, because I said, hey, this is $30. And I said, it's not $30. I said, it's a $4,000 investment. And why I said that to them is because there was a mailer box and postage and some other campaign that we talked about. And it said, would you be willing to invest $4,000 in 100 of these pieces to communicate with the right people? Would one person pay for it? And she came back immediately and said 10 times.
Yeah.
So think through that when you guys are considering these pieces. I can't think of a better way. Well, look, we use them internally. If you're on our list and you're watching our stuff, we got your attention already.
You have a sample, or you wanted
So
one.
you probably have a sample. You probably have multiple samples from us, and if you use them, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, certainly tell a friend, refer them to us. We'd love to help them. But take that away. You know, use these strategically to get to those C-suite individuals that make those decisions to close more business for you guys.
It works.
See you guys.
Bye.